All right, y'all, good morning and happy Thursday. We changed up the scenery for this episode today. I had it outside. Sun is just coming up. It's a little crisp out, so the senses, the emotions are all heightened a little bit. So a lot of thoughts are flowing, so I figured why not stay out here and record this episode today. So that's what we are going to do, and we're going to hop right into this thing. And what I want to talk about today is something that I touched on with Blair White a little bit in our conversation on this thing last week, but I want to kind of add on to it this week. And that topic is this: sometimes it is really easy to live vicariously through nothing. And what do I mean by that? I mean this: I love to read. I know a lot of people love to read as well. I think in this day and age of social media, it's very easy to consume content, whether it's on Instagram watching videos or looking at pictures, Twitter scrolling through different news articles, LinkedIn you're reading different stuff, Medium reading articles, Facebook getting updates, whatever, right? And by doing all those things, right, we're learning a lot. We're accumulating a ton of knowledge. We are growing in that sense when it comes to taking in all this different stuff. Fantastic, all good. But where I think sometimes we can trip up, and I'm the most guilty of this, is where I think I'm making progress through just simply reading and learning, or watching other people maybe do their YouTube channels or execute their podcasts or coach or whatever on YouTube or social media or Instagram, whatever. I'm learning, I'm consuming, I'm doing these different things. And because of that, sometimes that is crippling. Because of this, we think we're making progress by simply learning. And that's not the case. We're living vicariously through the lives of others, right? So when we read about the experiences in books, or we watch how people are doing things, subconsciously, I think sometimes we feel like we're executing those very things just because we're consuming them. We feel like we're around them. We're almost trying to make it our own, but without putting any of the work in. So it kind of feels good in the moment, right? You're reading a book, you're flowing, there's some things that you highlight, it makes a lot of sense. You feel like, okay, I can go out and do that. And you put the book down or you put the phone down, and it's time to go execute on this stuff, and we don't do it. We don't do it. We're living vicariously through nothing, quite literally nothing, because we're accumulating all this stuff, but we're not executing on it. So how can we be better in that sense? I think learning and growing and doing all these different things of attaining knowledge is important, but action is even more important. It has to be, right? So I'm the most guilty of this, where I read for 4 hours a day. Fantastic. But John, what are you doing with that knowledge that you're accumulating? Are you applying every single thing that you are learning in this book? No, I'm not. So maybe on the flip side, maybe it's reading for 20 or 30 minutes, being so focused and intent on what I'm reading, and then using the other 3.5 hours to go out and practice that certain skill set or execute on that tactic or what have you. And that is when true progress is going to be made. Right? But we're not making progress if all we're doing is learning and attaining and growing in that sense. Yes, is that important? Is that a good foundation? For sure. But that's not progress in our own lives. That's just watching somebody else do it and feeling good about watching somebody else do it, but not actually implementing it into our own lives. So how can we be better in that? Again, I'm a big reader. I like to consume. Great. I've tried to reduce that time, whether it's 3, 4, 5 hours a day, whatever, down to 1 or 2, and use the difference of that, then go execute on what I'm actually learning. So that's what I will encourage us to do today, is execute on what you are learning, and to rather live vicariously through yourself, if that's a thing. I don't know if it is, but I just made it a thing. Live vicariously through yourself versus vicariously through others. And if we can put action behind what we are learning, we will get to where we want to go. Is it going to happen tomorrow? Maybe not, but 5 years from now, you never know, 10 years, but we have to put action into what we are learning, or put action behind what we are learning if we want progress to be made. Okay, so y'all have a great one. Got a great guest on here for you guys tomorrow. I'm excited for her to hop on and hear from her and see what she's got going on. Definitely going to ask her about this topic too and see what she feels in this regard. So with that, y'all have a fantastic day. Happy Thursday, and put some action behind what you are learning as well. Okay, God bless. Coach Coop.